everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have a birthday Jerry Jardorama haul video to share with you guys. I picked up another one of their Creative Mark multi-point professional pencil sharpeners. I bought one of these years ago. You've seen this in a haul video before. This is my old one. I use this a ton. I used it every day for like years, probably like almost 3 years before it started to get dull. And then if you've been following my haul videos, you would have seen maybe 2-3 months ago or something, I tried to purchase the Derwent super point sharpener. This didn't last. This really went dull quick. I didn't enjoy this at all. At first it worked really great, but after a couple weeks it just wasn't sharpening the pencils right anymore. So this I kind of feel like is a dud. So I decided, tried and true, I know I got years of use out of this. I know I love this. Pastel pencils, charcoal pencils, color pencils, I mean mostly pastel pencils sharpen really fine points, and that's impressive because you know if you work with pastel pencils it's hard to get those super fine points. So I was excited to get another one of these. Love them. I highly recommend these by Creative Mark, and this was on sale too. For the sale I got it at a really good price. Alright, so here are the Daniel Smith watercolors, you guys. I knew I've been waiting for my birthday because when my birthday rolls around, my friends and family give me gift cards to art stores, and I've been waiting and waiting because several months ago I refilled my Daniel Smith watercolor palette and I used up the last of what was left of those tubes. I bought those, gosh, years and years ago, and so it was time to purchase some of my beloved colors. I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted these. These are the star of the haul today, you guys. So here's what I got. I picked up another tube of quinacridone pink because I love this color. I keep this not only on my palette now, but I keep it on my main Stephen Quiller palette. This is beautiful. I love quinacridone pink. Quinacridone rose, of course. Permanent alizarin crimson. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to repurchase permanent alizarin crimson or if I wanted to get ruby pyrrole, which is probably known as pyrrole crimson in their line. But I figured, you know what, I do want this one again because I used it, I loved it, I like the color, and it's more transparent than Pyrrole Crimson, which is what the M. Graham uses as permanent alizarin crimson. I've got that on my main Stephen Quiller palette, so I wanted something different, so I stuck with this permanent alizarin crimson. Sap green, I love their sap green. I love their sap green so much I'm considering putting it on my main palette instead of the M. Graham. I got raw umber, lemon yellow, which before, because I had started, like a lot of people with Daniel Smith, I had started with their introductory set of 6, which came with Hansa Yellow Light PY3. But after I used that up, I decided I wanted to switch over to lemon yellow. I think it's very similar in hue. This is PY175, but it's just a little bit more light fast. I think it's more stable. I don't think their PY3 is bad light fast wise, but I know I trust this one a little bit more. Hansa Yellow Medium. Their Hansa Yellow Medium is just everything. It's just such a good, clear, like primary to warm yellow. I use it a ton, so I knew I wanted that. New Gamboge I decided to repurchase because I really do like that warm color. Yellow Ochre. Quinacridone Coral, which isn't even swatched on this card. It's a new one to me. I'd gotten some recently in a very tiny tube to try, and I actually fell in love with it, so I knew I wanted the full-size tube. French Ultramarine and Phthalo Blue green shade. Always green shade. I don't like red shade. So the ones I didn't repurchase because I already had them in full-size tubes was their Pyrrole Scarlet. I can't be without that. Their Pyrrole Scarlet is so good. PR255. I love that. I have it on my main palette too. I always have to have that. I didn't repurchase the Quinacridone Purple because I already had that also in a full-size tube. Burnt Sienna, transparent power orange I had in a full-size tube. So there were some that I didn't have to repurchase, but these were the ones I definitely did because I was completely out. I was being so stingy with what I had left in this palette. I was like, no, I don't want to waste it. I have so little left. And then my birthday was rolling around. I was like, yes, I knew I wanted these. If you don't mind, I'd love if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe, leave me a comment, because it really helps out my channel. And yeah, I'd appreciate it. So here, the first thing that I purchased was this Faber-Castell Pitt monochrome drawing set. Now they had these in a couple different varieties. They had like a more limited set of 12, 21. I think they had a 35 set that I wasn't so interested in, but I felt like this would be just the right size. When it comes, it is fully shrink wrap, but I took that off for the video because of the glare. And it comes with this little sticker on the back that indicates what you will receive inside. So I went ahead and opened it up. I'm just going to move something out of the way. There we go. And I love Faber-Castell's tins. I've remarked on this a lot on the channel. You do get a little brochure, but most of it, unfortunately, is not in English, but there is a little English in there. Nice little thing here to protect it, which is nice. And then they added an extra little like foam spongy insert to protect what they're calling the pastel crayons over here. Now, when I saw this, I knew I had to have it. It's such a traditional looking drawing set in that kind of monochromatic warm theme. If you guys remember my review that I did on the Derwent tinted charcoal, one of my complaints was that it was also ice cold and dark and desaturated. Here we have more of those warm kind of umbers and Sanjuian sepia kind of tones over here. You're also getting some pastel pencils, 4 of the Pitt pastel pencils. Now I have the full line of the pastel pencils. So I know I love these. I love that the light fast rating is on all of them. You're getting a white, oh, well, the numbers are just on there. Kind of like a burnt umber, kind of like a terracotta, and then a black, which is nice. You get 2 of these oil-based pencils. I'm familiar with everything else in here for the most part from Faber-Castell's line except these. I don't know if this is an oil-based color pencil. It just says oil-based. And you're getting it in like a kind of terracotta tone and kind of a dark tone. 2 of their charcoal pencils. I love their Pitt charcoal pencils. They're my favorite charcoal. They're light fast. You're getting a medium and you get a soft. You also get 3 graphite type pencils, 2 of their 9000s in 2B and 6B, and then they're giving you a pure graphite in 6B. Now for me, the one change I'd make there is it was a little bit redundant in my opinion that they give you you know, 2 6Bs, but in different formats. I wish they'd given me maybe an 8B possibly in their 9000 pencil and then given me this. I don't know. But I love their 9000 pencils, so I'm happy with that. You also get one of their Pitt charcoal crayons. Now, listen, I recently discovered these and I'm obsessed, okay? I've got all of them off to the side. I'm going to show you. This is in medium. It goes medium soft and extra soft. I wish they'd given me an extra soft. I think that would have been, because that's the richest, darkest. They're Pitt charcoal crayons. These are unique. These are unique formulas. They are, they don't make as much of a mess on your hands as you can see when I mean, a little bit will come off, but they're pretty neat and they hang together. They almost have like a more of a pastel, oh, almost like a Rembrandt pastel kind of feel, but there's not a lot of crumbs. I mean, almost none, honestly. It's crazy. You can feel that clay and that black pigment. I just really love these. I'm obsessed with these recently. You get one of their kneaded gum erasers. They make my favorite kneaded gum eraser. I believe this is a willow charcoal stick here. It's hard because I can't, nothing's in English on the back. I think this is willow charcoal and not vine charcoal because it's a little bit fatter and darker, but I could be wrong, but I think that's willow. Off to the side here, let me show you a piece of vine charcoal. If you're not familiar with what the difference is, vine charcoal is usually thinner because it's grapevines, and willow is willow. But I believe that's willow what's in there. You get a blending stump, and then these, which are new to me as well, They're calling these Pitt Pastel crayons. So this isn't, I don't think this is from their Pitt Pastel line. I don't know. So I don't know what this is exactly, and there's not a lot of information that you find online about these. These also seem to not come off on my hands as much as like a traditional pastel, so that's good. Not as a lot of dust. So I'm happy for a cleaner drawing medium. Now let's see how that blends out. I heard that there's a little bit of wax in here, and I heard from some of the websites that you shouldn't expect these to blend as much as a pastel. That some of the lines are going to stay. Now we'll see about that. And they do blend really nice, I will say that. So they're definitely kind of like a harder kind of texture there. I'm pleased with pretty much everything that came in this set. Now, what is this? It says Pitt oil base. Do you have information on these? This one says soft. This one doesn't. Pitt oil base soft, Pitt oil base, and then this one's Saint Jouin, and this one's black. And if I messed up the name on that, that says black, but it doesn't look black. I don't know if you can see that on camera. It's really not a rich, not like that charcoal. See how it's more of a gray? And then this is the other one. It doesn't feel like a polychromos. I don't know. I honestly don't know what those are, but I'm happy with everything else in the set, and I'd love to do some more like monochrome kind of drawings. I love charcoal drawings, so I'm really excited for these. What is this? This is another one of those nice edges on here. Everything in this set is light fast, so I'm really happy about this. This is fine artist quality in this box, and I'm really excited to make some beautiful drawings with these. So I picked that up. I also picked up another one of these Tombow Mono Zero erasers. This is a product I already love. I grabbed this because I wanted to have an extra one for my travel art bag. And I've already broken into this, as you can see. This is the Pitt charcoal set that they have. It comes with 2 charcoal pencils, the same ones I showed you in here. Some of their vine charcoal, 3 of those charcoal crayons that I've already showed you, and a kneaded eraser. I highly recommend this set. If you're looking for some good quality charcoals, this is your set, guys. I love these. The vine charcoal is really a natural charcoal. It's a little bit more of a gray, and these are really rich in black. I love them. I absolutely love them. I highly recommend these. I picked up a Strathmore Tone Tan sketchbook. This is the 8.5 by 11 inch to go along with my monochrome set here. I love tone tan. I have plenty of these, tone tan and toned gray. I usually use more for graphite, but I thought tone tan would just go perfectly with this monochrome drawing set. You know, these type of tones would look beautiful in here because I really want to do some traditional drawings on that. So I picked that up. You can't go wrong with anything from Tone Tan. I also grabbed some of these General's compressed charcoal sticks. You get 2 6Bs, a 4B, and a 2B. As you can see, I've already opened this up as well to check them out. These are fun. I really like these. These are natural charcoal, so they won't be quite as rich in black as those Faber Castels. The Faber Castell charcoals, the compressed charcoals, are the definite richest and blackest, but they are adding black pigment to it as well, so keep that in mind. But I really do love the General's charcoal and their pencils, but Faber-Castell is my favorite. I picked up some of these Create a Color powders. This is the charcoal powder. This is the graphite powder. These are huge, by the way. You get a lot of product, 175 grams of the charcoal, 150 grams of the graphite powder. These type of powders are great, especially if you're doing portraits and you just want to lay down a nice smooth base. They're good for negative painting. You can mix, you can apply this, you know, with a little bit of a binding medium like gum arabic and mix it together to make kind of a paint and paint with it. So I'm excited to get these. They do come with a seal on them. I've already broken open the seal there. But to go along with that, I grabbed some of these sort of oval mop brushes here, so that I wanted to use these to, you can apply those powders with a brush, a stump, whatever you want, but when you do it with a brush, you're going to get the most soft, smooth wash possible. So I grabbed a variety of different type of brushes that I would like, and I can always use these with acrylic for blending as well. And I grabbed some of these cheap eyeshadow brushes by the brand ELF or ELF for little spaces and things for blending, so that I'd have that. And because these are so large, I grabbed some small jars. These I picked up from Hobby Lobby. They're called twisters. You get 3 of them. I thought I would just, for convenience, so not bringing out this big messy thing every time. And these are glass jars that I got from Michael's. I use these for paint all the time, so I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use for these. But I also thought I could kind of put some of these powders into the smaller jars and share them with some of my artist friends as well, because this is a lot of powder. I probably won't use all that up, you know. Not that it ever goes bad, but, you know, I wanted to kind of share it with some of my artsy friends. I grabbed an artist's chamois for blending smooth portraits and things. I also picked up some of these, some extra dropper bottles. I like to use these to decant things like gum arabic and masking fluid in, so I can get just what I need. Art jars, these are my favorite. They really keep the paint fresh a long time. And so just some spray bottles that I like to use around the studio. I also grabbed, this is a second time a repurchase for me. These are the Derwent graphite sticks, and I love these. These are an underrated product. I don't think enough people talk about these. I just wanted to grab a stump really quick. I wanted to demonstrate these. So what makes these so special is they're almost like a graphite crayon, in that you can use these. I mean, look how smooth these blend. I really, really like these. You can get large areas and backgrounds done really easily with these. And they blend so smooth for areas like portraiture and things. So I really like these, and they're not too expensive. All right, and the very last thing that I picked up that I want to share with you guys is the Paul Rubens Artist Soft Pastels. This is the 40 color portrait set. See, it says portrait right on there. And even for a portrait configuration, the colors are a little bit strange. So here are the colors. I think it's interesting though. I actually enjoy the way these look. Now, if you're a beginner and you were looking for a set of pastels that was going to give you everything you needed to get started, this is not that set. The price point's not bad. I think these are currently running for around $41, $42 on Amazon.com. That's the only place you can get these in the United States currently that I'm aware of. I paid maybe $37, $38 with a coupon, which was not bad. Although I will say the Sennelier set, portrait set of, I think it's 40, yeah, is selling for around the same price, maybe a couple dollars more on Amazon. I do think you'd be much happier with that, to be completely honest, quality-wise and for the color configuration. In the art community, it was going around that these were like a dupe for Sennelier pastels. They were very similar. And I have to say right off the bat, at least from what I received in my mailbox, absolutely not. No question in my mind. No way. There is nothing wrong with a budget-friendly pastel. Nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing wrong with student-grade pastels, which is what these are. These are not artist-grade pastels, and it's a disservice to you, the viewer, and it's a disrespect to Sennelier, I think, to compare apples to oranges. There's nothing wrong with student-grade pastels, and there's nothing wrong with these pastels, but they are not anywhere coming close to a Sennelier pastel. Sennelier pastels are buttery, they're creamy, super soft. These are not buttery soft and smooth like that. These have a drier kind of texture, almost more like marble dust. And yet, despite that, they don't build very well on top of onto themselves. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I mean here. I'm going to take a red and maybe this orange. Let's try that. Now, it depends on how you like to work with pastel, I think, is going to determine if you're going to like these or not. If you like to work more kind of like impressionistically, more like optical blending, then I think you'll like these a lot more. But if you like to actually blend your pastels, you know, and get smooth blends of color, I don't think you're going to enjoy these so much. They seem to lift up. When I go to blend two colors together, it's more kind of erasing and picking back up versus actually blending. And hear how scratchy that one is? Okay, some of them are harder than a Rembrandt, some of them are softer, but see that? Do you see how it doesn't want to blend? Like, look at that. It doesn't really blend, and look how powdery and dusty that is. There, a lot of powder, a lot of dust. Now, some of the good things about these pastels, the pigment information is available on Amazon. I saw almost all the way across the board for this set specifically. Things like Pyrrole Orange, Pyrrole Red, Phthalo Blue, Ultramarine Blue, Burnt Umber, raw, maybe not raw umber, but umbers, yellow ochres, etc., etc. So most of what's in this box I think is suitable for artist grade work in terms of the light fastness. And except that one up there was like a carmine type pigment, and I don't trust that. They are hand rolled, handmade, but they don't layer and blend well, and they don't build well onto each other when you're trying to blend them that way. That being said, if you like to work more impressionistically, where you're more, you know, laying down pure strokes of color, they do well for that. See that? It builds just fine in that way. So, you know, if you wanted to work with more optical blending, see that? They're going to work fine for that. So there's nothing wrong with them for that technique. I think that you'd be happier with them. But I don't think that these are anywhere close to a Sennelier pastel, and I'm not going to lie about that. So I wouldn't repurchase them, to be completely honest. If I had it to do over again, I wouldn't. And I don't know that I'm going to do a review on these. If you guys are interested, let me know. So overall, I just want to say that I think these pastels are okay, but they're not great. They're definitely a student grade pastel to me. They are not comparable to Sennelier in my opinion. I compared them side by side to some of my artist grade pastels in my collection, and I will say that while the color saturation is pretty punchy, they're definitely more sheer and not as pigmented, not as much pigment as an artist grade pastel. You do take a little drop in quality there. I don't know. Do you guys want me to do a review on these in a demonstration? Because I will if you guys want it, but I'm already inclined to probably say no. And I don't want to say anything negative about this brand. I know Paul Rubens comes out with some pretty decent, affordable art supplies, and that's what I think this is. And there's nothing wrong with it, but I just want you to know what to expect when you get this home. They're punchy, they're vibrant. And they're handmade, which is nice to see. The cons would definitely be, for me, they are very powdery and dusty. More dusty than any other pastel that I have in my collection currently. Some of them are a little bit hard. And the biggest thing that I want to say is that there's something funny with the formula in that, at least when it comes to blending, when you're trying to get a smooth blend, they don't blend especially well. And when I go to layer another layer on top and blend it in, it just kind of wipes away. It doesn't matter what paper I've experimented on. I've experimented with some sanded papers and various surfaces. It's weird. It doesn't adhere, and it grabs very strange to itself. It's hard to explain. But if you like to do this type of effect, more optical blending, more of that impressionist, you know, you're laying down more bold passages of color, then I don't think you're going to notice it. But if you're like me, you like to do more smooth blending and more realism, I don't think you're going to like these pastels. But that is my haul video for today. I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. And as always, have a great day, have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.